What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Sky Bees. So last episode, we finally got wireless power hooked up, which is fantastic. All of our power sources are in one location, which is great, and we can send that power around wirelessly. I like it. This episode, I would like to work on upgrading the amount of power that we can output. What we have right now is 3 different generators that can do 70 FE per tick, which is fine. It's a little bit more than what we need right now, but if we add anything else, then we're going to start running into problems. If we want to add auto crafting to our applied energistic system, if we want to, I don't know, start adding in electric smelters, things along those lines, right? We're going to start running into power struggles. But for right now, for what we're doing, it's perfectly fine. But let's look into the future a bit, right? Off camera, I have installed a netherrack block. Amazing, I know, for our netherrack bees. Yeah, and I have our netherrack combs being collected here. We are currently processing those, and something is blocking those from entering. And then we are getting our netherrack here. I also have glass set up, so we have been collecting some glass. What are we blocked on? Marble. We full up? We are full up. I need to get myself... I was going to say I need to get myself a void upgrade. Maybe that's what we should do, actually. Void. Whoop, void. Do I not have a void? Drawer. I thought I had more of these things. Okay, void upgrade. That might be why I didn't actually put one in there, because I ran out. Alright, so there's a void upgrade. I think having 2048 marble is probably going to be enough. We can... most likely stop this thing from processing anymore if we're just going to be throwing it away. So let's just go ahead and kill that. And put the void upgrade in here. Like so. Which should empty all that stuff up, and then everything else should be happy down the line. Alright, so let's take all of this out and just throw it back into this thing. Cool. Alright, so that centrifuge is no longer doing. That solves a little bit of our power problem. We're using less power now. Also, I did add in a compacting drawer here for our steel. So now we have access to steel blocks, steel ingots, and nuggets without having to craft any of those things. Same thing for our iron. We are automatically collecting the blocks there, which is great. And our beeswax, I put in an upgrade here so we can continue to store more. This is something that we're going to be collecting a whole lot of. I don't know if we need like all of it, but I'd rather have it than throw it away and need it later, right? Anyway, so... working on power. Let's see. We want to upgrade our basic thermo generator to the hardened, which is the next version of it. And in order to take the basic one, upgrade this thing, we need some new material. We need this energized steel. This is something we haven't made yet. So in order to make energized steel, there are no bees that can do that. You have to energize it using the Powah mod. So there's an energizing line of machines that we can use, and it looks like we're going to need an energizing rod. I'm not sure what the difference between the energizing orb and the rod is, but these show that it has a maximum input output, and this one does not, so I assume this doesn't work, but maybe it does. I don't know. What's the recipe on this? This looks like it's exceptionally cheap. And this is pretty cheap as well, so I'm not sure what the difference are. But this has an upgrade path, so I'm going to make the starter one. Okay, so in order to make energized steel, we need 1 iron, 1 gold, and then 10,000 FE. Seems pretty straightforward, and the recipe, again, not so difficult. Do we have everything in the system to make this? We can do that. I know I needed a dielectric casing for our quest. Okay, so we got that. That's been bugging me for a while. Can we make this? We need a basic capacitor tiny. So there's that, and that, and there's our energizing rod starter. And since I've never really used the Powah mod before, I figured I should probably look at the book to figure out how we actually do stuff. Welcome back, Hypnotizd. Thank you. Functional blocks. So energizing player transmitter. That sounds pretty cool. Energy hopping. Energy discharger. Yeah, we probably want the energizing one. So if we take a look at this, we can see that this seems kind of similar to maybe like IC2, or I'm sorry, Buildcraft, the Buildcraft lasers. and the thing. Anyway, so yeah, it looks like you place these energizing rods on top of some kind of a cable. I don't think it has to be that particular one. And then if they're within range, they provide power to charge a thing that are on the pedestal. That's what it looks like. So energy cable, energizing rod does not, oops. The energizing rod does not place on the ground. It has to be on a cable, it would appear. And then we place this somewhere within range. I don't know how far the distance is and how many of these we can make, but yep, that's the basic idea. And then whatever you want to charge, you place into here, and then, yeah, things happen. It's magic. Okay, so now that we have that, let's put a flux point onto here. We will set this to our network. And that's giving this thing power. Yep, that is charging up. And let's see, if we go back to this, this shows that we need 2 items in order to make this. I don't know if you can put 2 items into this thing. Let's figure that out. So if I do this and this, oh yeah, they charge. And we get a laser beam and things are happening. Okay, so we do get a little percent complete. That's cool. So we know what's going on. Kind of weird that it uses the thing in the bottom center as opposed to what am I looking at? What is that thing called? I can't remember. The tooltip in the top center. Anyway, but at least we get some kind of visual output that things are happening. So that's awesome. Anyway, so if we go back to looking at the thermo generator, we needed one of these for this recipe, but then these hardened capacitors also need 4 of those. So I need to do, well, I need a total of 5. We make 2 at a time. So I need to do this recipe 3 times. Anyway, it's going to take a minute. We'll be back. So I ended up making 2 more of these energy rod starters just to make this go 3 times faster because it was going a little slow without. So yeah, we ended up making 20 of these energized steel. I was going to do 5 recipes because we have 3 of the generators, but I figured, you know what, let's just have a little bit extra so we don't have to worry about it later. Anyway, thermo generator, in order to make this, we need all of these parts in order to do this, right? So we're going to need 6 of these guys. I don't even know if we can do that. It doesn't look like we can right now. We're missing these basic capacitor larges, which require the basic capacitors. Well, we can make 2 of those. So we can do that, and then if I add that in there, we can do that. So we have 4 hardened capacitors. So that means we can do 2 of these recipes right now. I will have to make some more of the other things. But anyway, so we're missing the generator in the center, and then the dielectric casing, and then we need 6 of these thermoelectric plates, and we need blaze powder, it looks like. So blaze powder, we have plenty of blaze rods down here, but we don't have any of this connected to our storage system yet, which is something we will have to look at in the future. But for now, I guess it's not that big of a deal for me to go and grab like a stack of blaze rods and convert that to power so we can do the thing with the stuff. And there we go. So we're going to need 6 of those and we can make 1. Okay. Redstone is something that we're going to need a bunch of. So let's unblockify some of that. And what else was there? These basic capacitor tinies. Aha. So let's start looking at what we need here. So we need the basic capacitor tiny, which comes from these, and those are made like so. We'll make a few of those. So now I should be able to make some of these tinies. Okay, and I think that might be enough. Whoop, I'm clicking on things. So there is 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need 1 more of these. What am I? This one, this, that. Okay. So there is 6 of those. So we should have everything now to upgrade all 3. Well, almost everything. We need 3 of these. So I need more dielectric rods. Oh my goodness. Can we get auto crafting up and running now? Because that'd be awesome. All right. So let's do a recipe of those and a recipe of those. So that should be enough for 3 of these. And all right. So now we just need to collect our generators from downstairs and then upgrade them. I'm going to do it 1 at a time, and I'm a little afraid because these are sitting above lava right now. So if I break those and they fall directly down into the lava, then we don't have them anymore, and that's a problem, right? So maybe I should remove the lava completely, do this, and then replace the lava so we're not completely out of power while I'm doing the upgrade crafting. This is a little weird how to do this. So bucket. So I only have one of those. Let's grab some iron. Doot. All right, so now we have 3 buckets. I can remove all of the lava and then we can do the upgrade. All right, I think we'll do that. All right, so I have completely removed all of our lava, so we don't have any power being generated. So we're able to craft this thermo generator hardened, and then we can start adding these back one at a time, I suppose. I need some kind of a block to restrain the lava when I start putting that back in there. I guess we'll just use glass. That should be fine. Yeah, so all the power that we have in the base right now is just whatever is stored, but we aren't generating any right now. Actually, this says that we're still inputting power. How does that work? Oh, yeah. Okay, I forgot. These do have an internal power buffer. Huh. Okay, well, anyway, we'll get rid of this, get rid of that. We're going to place the hardened one right here. All right. Then I should be able to restrain the lava, and then place... For some reason, it looked like there was an invisible block there. I thought I was going to be placing the lava where I didn't want it. Anyway, so now we... Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Apparently, if you right-click on these things with a bucket, you get water. Now we're making 180 EF per tick. Before we were making 70. So we're making just a little bit less than what we had originally there. Let's go ahead and get these other ones upgraded. All right, cool. So we have all 3 of these hardened thermo generators hooked up, and they are currently producing 540 FE per tick, which is great. But it looks like we can extract up to 2,100 FE per tick if we need it in a large burst. Anyway, each one of these holds 500,000, so we have 1.5 million power worth of potential storage once these things fill up all the way. Yeah, that is a pretty good power increase. So if we take a look at these again, if we want to go to the next ones, the blazing ones, we're going to have to do some more stuff. That's going to require blazing crystals, which is a little bit more expensive as far as FE goes, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. And blazing capacitor. So it's kind of the same thing. It just uses this new material from blaze rods or blaze powder, however you want to make them. But everything else looks pretty straightforward as far as that upgrade. So yeah, it looks like the upgrade path on these are pretty easy. The next one, if we want to do that, yeah, diamonds. Same. I am assuming all of these are going to be the same style recipe. It looks like there's not much. Then we got the diamond, then the emerald, and then the very last one is nitro, which is a nether star, redstone, and blazing crystal block in order to make 10 of those. So that's kind of cool. Well, I'm not sure if we're ever going to need to get up that high in the power chain, but if we ever do, we know how to get there, which is great. Okay, so now that we have that power situation handled, let's move on to the next thing that I'd like to do, and that is going to be... to look at getting energized smelter if we can. So in order to make an energized smelter, we are going to need a steel casing. And the steel casing was steel block put into the blood altar, and we've done that already. So grab that. I don't think we had an extra steel casing, but we have the blood altar set up, right? Steel scaffolding. We have some steel blocks up here. Yeah. So we don't have steel casings. By the way, I don't think I even mentioned this. Yeah, I put up a leaf border around these different honeycomb things. I'm still kind of not sure if I'm going to keep it or not. I mean, I like it, but just because of the layout of this, like if I want to go from here, from like over in the central one, over to there, like the proper pathing, well, I'd have to remove this botania stuff, but that's to come out this way onto the road, make a right, come over here, and then make a left, right? Otherwise, I'm just jumping over these borders. So I'm not sure if we're going to keep that or not. But anyway, we need to just throw that in there. That's going to use 5 buckets worth of the life essence that's in there. We have plenty all ready to go. Anything else that we need to worry about if we're going to make the smelter? Let's take a look. So this thing requires basic control circuits, which we've seen before, metallurgic infuser, redstone, and osmium. Okay, that's not anything crazy. Some glass, redstone, easy. All right, so I went ahead and I brought our Mekanism machines up from downstairs. We have our enrichment chamber, our metallurgic infuser, and now our energized smelter that I just crafted. So in the enrichment chamber, I'm taking redstone and I am enriching it into the enriched redstone. Each one of these is worth 8 of one of those inside the metallurgic infuser, right? So you get a lot more mileage out of these things if you run it through the enrichment chamber first. So that's what we're doing. We're just preparing that for later. Anyway, so the energized smelter is replacing all of our ugly vanilla furnaces that we had laid out here for forever. I think we had 16 of them. So this thing, yeah, that should replace it. Now let's see how fast or how slow that machine is. I guess we'll just do that. Turn this into charcoal. Okay, so that seems to smelt at roughly vanilla speed. That might actually be slower. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, that's what happens here. So we want to upgrade this, and also there's 2 different upgrades that we can do. There's the upgrade button here where we can put in speed and energy upgrades, but there's also smelting factory upgrades, right? So a factory allows us, instead of just inputting 1 item, we can input 3 or 5 or 7. I think there's many different factories here. So if we search for smelting factory, oh, it looks like there's an ultimate smelting factory. I don't know if I've seen ultimate before. Interesting. Okay, well, let's look at the basic smelting factory. So in order to do that, we need some more basic control circuits. Again, that is put in the metallurgic infuser with some osmium. So osmium, let's grab a little bit of this. That's more than what I wanted. Not even clicking thing. What the heck? How did... what? Oh, I put it up here. I thought that was my crafting. Anyway, let's put that over into here. So one of these should be able to smelt 4. Well, not smelt, but it should be able to convert 4 of those, because I think it uses 20 per, and each one of these is worth 80. So yes, we will be able to have a little bit extra. And then, yeah, upgrading that to the smelting factory is actually pretty simple. So we just need to wait for 2 of those to run through real quick, and then we should be able to do this first upgrade. And then the advanced one, yeah, that's gonna be a little bit more than what we can do right now, but let's just do this one first of all. So there's that, this, and there's the basic smelting factory. So we throw that down. Yes, now we have 3 slots, which is great. So now we can go 3 times faster converting wood into charcoal or whatever else we're smelting. Let's also take a look at these upgrades real quick. So there is the speed upgrade, which increases the speed of the machinery, and the energy one, which uses less power. So the more speed upgrades you have in there, the more power it consumes, right? And the more energy upgrades you have in there, the less power it consumes. So you kind of want an even amount of those things. So let's take a look at this. We need the infused alloys. So that is more redstone plus iron equals those. I know we're going to need a lot of those. So let's grab, I guess, 16 iron for now. We'll have to do more of these later. So there's 16 of those, and I think it's 1 redstone per, or I'm sorry, 10 millibuckets per. It might be 20 on these as well. I'm not actually sure. What do we got here? We are fine. All right, so that's going to be plenty. So 2 of those, and then we need osmium dust. I don't think we have any dust. No, we don't. So there is a machine that'll do that for us. There is the hammer that we can just do this, but probably won't want to make the crusher. And again, as you see here, there's the crusher plus these different factories, and they can all be upgraded just the same. In fact, these machines right here, the enrichment chamber and the metallurgic infuser, can all be upgraded into factories as well, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, so we want to look at making a crusher. And that is another steel casing plus some lava buckets, and everything else is pretty simplified here. So we're gonna need another steel block, and at this point I think I have to put more life essence into our blood altar over there. So let's grab our sacrificial knife so I can do such things. This might be the point where we should start looking at the incense altar for this, but I'm not entirely sure we need to. 2.8 buckets. Let me just go ahead and spam right click this a few times. Not too many. Don't want to do it too many times. There we go. That's enough. All right, and then that goes in there. We eat a little bit of food when Minecraft says that we're hungry enough to. There we go, and now our health will regen faster. Cool. Well, I'm going to go ahead and make the crusher machine. I might upgrade it to a factory. I'm not sure. We got some things to do here that I'm just going to mess around with Mekanism. We'll be back. All right, so a few minutes later, we now have our basic smelting factory. We have our basic crushing factory. Those are all ready to go, and I have some upgrades here. So we can just shift right click those into here. So there's 2 speed upgrades. Now, if we take a look at the power, I guess it doesn't say how much power it's using with those upgrades until you start smelting. So let's put that into here. So that's using 63 FE per tick, and that's only with one of these. We can do auto sort, which will put them in all of them. And now we're using almost 200 FE per tick. So now we want to put in some energy upgrades into there, and now we're using 100. So that's a little bit more reasonable, I think, for doing 3 items at a time at this speed. Now we can also add in more energy upgrades to make it like a lot more energy efficient. Now we're only using 60 FE per tick. So yeah, we can play around with this and kind of balance it out as far as our resources go, how much speed, how much energy we are willing to use to get this all going. All right, so speed upgrades, we'll also put some of those into the crusher over here, which, again, is a crushing factory. I don't know exactly how much power that's going to use. I assume it's going to be roughly the same as we saw in the smelting factory. So I'm going to want to get some energy upgrades into this as well. And then especially if we upgrade these to the other tier, whoops, as we saw before, Mechanism Factory, there's the Ultimate Factory, which I assume is going to use either 7 or 9 slots, or maybe even more. I'm not sure how that looks, but anyway, if we do make those, that's going to use that much more power. And with that, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here for today. Yes, we got ourselves our machines. They're no longer tucked away using power where we have it downstairs. We can put them upstairs in a more convenient place nearby our crafting stuff, so we can, not have to run all over our base to get things done, which is great. Yeah, we upgraded our power supply, so now we have a lot of power available, which is good because these machines, as you saw, are going to start using a whole lot of power. But yeah, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on this episode if you liked it, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.